This video is sponsored by Black Panther System. They make modular music stands, and we'll get more into that later in the video. If you're new here, my name is Andrew Masters. I'm a producer, audio engineer, and musician. I've had the luxury of working in commercial, residential, and project studios in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and now Nashville, Tennessee. Now here's the deal. My family and I have lived in this house for the last 2.5 years. I used to have a kind of awesome epic home studio up in the bonus room above the garage, but we bought a new house, we've moved out, and now this entire house I'm taking over and converting into an entire recording studio. This is, you know, aesthetically pretty much there. This is basically what it looked like before. Terrible. In this video, I want to show you how I'm taking 2 of the bedrooms, regular bedrooms, and converting them into tracking rooms. Let's get into it. All right, so let's walk back here. We've got the control room, which is going on the right here. We've got a bathroom, and then in the back, we have these 2 bedrooms. These are literally bedrooms. We've got 9-foot ceilings, and each room is about roughly 11 foot by 11 foot. I'm just gonna say that to make it simple there. But the idea here is to turn both of these bedrooms into dedicated recording booths, so let's get started. All right, so let's start with this bedroom. This is going to be the drum booth. So ideally drum kit and maybe space to overdub one other thing. And the cool thing about this room is it actually used to be my son's little home studio setup. You can see the holes in the walls where we had some panels in here. But first things first is we want to kind of renovate the room and paint it and make it a comfortable, more professional feeling environment to record in. So we're going to start with paint. So to kick things off, I brought Jack in to help me paint his old studio. I thought it'd be a fun little father-son thing. We went with the Bear Premium paint. This is the color is very navy and it's a flat finish. So if you get a good solid 2 coats on there, it just looks so nice. You can see when it's wet here, it does not look that great, but after you get the second coat on and it dries, it looks just absolutely amazing. All right, so I'm gonna put some treatment up in here. This is what it sounds like with no treatment. So up first is putting up these 2-foot by 4-foot 2-inch ceiling panels, and then we are going to throw up these 4-inch wall panels, and some of these have their own diffuser faces that hang in front of them. We have this old like bedroom LED kind of cheap light. We're going to take that off because it's in the way, and we want to put something in here that's cooler and perhaps even provides more light. So I got this kind of weird medieval cheap Edison bulb. What's it called? Chandelier. So we're gonna swap it out. Okay, so we got the ceiling panels up, started putting on the rest of the wall absorption panels. Each one of these absorption panels also has these cool diffusion faces that hang right over the front of them, and you could just hear the room coming together as we're putting the stuff in. Now, as for this bedroom, here's what we're looking at. We've got one window in the corner, absolutely no acoustic treatment, all slightly damaged white walls, and this very small closet here. So the plan is to turn this into a functional, usable, cool recording booth / keyboard room. So this all needs to be cleaned up. We need to run lines. We'll probably put keys along this wall or these 2 walls or something like that. Maybe bring in a chair, rug, paint. Probably is gonna function as a microphone closet. Once everything's together, we'll see if it winds up being that. But otherwise, yeah, it's not ideal. When you bring clients in, you don't want them to experience this. This is the next phase of what we're going to be doing, which is installing line. We're basically going to be taking these stage boxes, which if you're not familiar, this is where you plug your microphones in. Your microphone cable goes this. This is going to go all the way up through the ceiling between rooms, back down the ceiling into the control room behind our patch bay. So what we're going to do is carry this sucker. And this one will go into the drum room. This is actually a 100-foot stage box. And the way that we're gonna run it is gonna be through this closet here. So if you're doing something like this, you want to start in the room that the box is gonna be in. So the box is gonna be in this room, probably somewhere over here, out of the way. And we're gonna take this snake, cut a hole through the ceiling somewhere, pick a spot that doesn't have a stud above it. This is actually what will run up through the ceiling. I'm gonna use two things, a stud finder to make sure I don't drill into a stud, and a hole saw bit, which is this guy. And we'll just make sure it's on there tight. And then once it's ran through, we're gonna stuff some insulation back on that hole to try to our best to seal it back up. Whatever's up there. Okay, so live room's coming together. We're gonna be running lines to mics today. Trey's getting the headphone system set up. For those who are curious, we've got the second rig here. If you are interested, maybe we'll do just a video dedicated to that. But we've got lines running through, coming through the ceiling from the other room. Down here, we've got stage box, 16 inputs for our mics. Ethernet going to our headphone distribution system, and Ethernet sending so we can control our control room computer from this room. So yeah, this starting when we got this cool light fixture. It's very yellow. All right, let's talk about organizing these keyboards. This stand that we're using here is the first stand from this company, Black Panther, I've ever used. Just take a look at it. This keyboard stand has this beautiful open area here. This is the 2-tier version of it. It's called the Cedro. Well, basically the difference is how many tiers you get on your stand. And the crazy part of this company called Black Panther Systems, they have a whole stand system. So you can essentially keep adding on to your stands that you get. They have add-ons that hold studio monitors. They have add-ons that hold iPads, laptops, like a bunch of different things. I'll put a link to their website down below. They're sponsoring this video. So they just sent this new stand that we're gonna check out. This is the Para S, and it's a 3-tier version of this guy. Comes perfectly organized like this. All of the pieces are very, very heavy duty metal, extremely durable and balanced and just strong. It's like an over-engineered system. It's very simple to put together. Essentially, you can see on here, we have 2 of these feet, and then they're connected by this centerpiece. And you can see the different holes on this allow for a lot of flexibility so that you can essentially design it however you want. We'll pop this together. You can tell this is just like a beast of a stand. Like, I can literally climb on this thing and, well, I won't do that. Our bass, for our bass keyboard, we'll have the bass and then we'll have 2 add-ons. Now, the other thing I love about this stand is you can get this power strip rack. So when you get the keyboards on there, you can mount in the back this rack that holds power strip. If you want to check them out, I'll put a link to them down in the description. Big thank you to Black Panther Systems for sponsoring this video and helping get this keyboard overdub booth put together. All right, now we're gonna start to make this thing look like a room. We're gonna get some paint on the walls. Here you can see the stand completed. This is the Para S keyboard stand with 3 tiers. Up next, we're gonna go ahead and put on some acoustic panels. Now I have some panels that I could put on the ceiling and I could kind of get carried away here, but here's my mission. My mission is to set a deadline with a session, and that deadline is now. So my goal is to just get these rooms close enough to where I can actually do a session and use both of them, because let's be honest, we can tweak on how we have our rooms set up until the end of time, but at the end of the day, the best way to find out what you really need to do in your rooms is to do a session. Find the holes, find the weaknesses, figure out what's there that you think is going to work and then what isn't there that you're not even thinking about. So we've got the drum room set up for both drums, and then we've got an area to do vocals. We've got this B room set up for maybe guitar overdubs or keyboards or anything really. I mean, it's just going to be a matter of getting people in here and putting these things to use. So I'm officially moved in. The rest of the house is just gonna have to slowly come together as it can, but in the meantime, it's time to get a band in here and actually start recording. Lucky enough to get the Skeleton Crew band here in Nashville, a bunch of killer session players who just write phenomenal songs. Got to have them come in and put these rooms to use, and it was just absolutely so much fun. Maybe I'll do another video where we kind of break down a couple of the cool things that I took away from the session, and I'll give you a little bit of behind the scenes if that sounds interesting to you. If you're working on a studio of your own and you have some questions about just the process or anything that you could do a little bit better, you can feel free to go to andrewmastersmusic.com and you can actually schedule a consultation video call directly with me. This is one of my favorite things that I get to do throughout the week, is chat with you guys, see your studio setups, figure out what your plan is, and accomplish your goals easily and on budget. You can book a call today at andrewmastersmusic.com. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer each and every one of them. If you guys like content like this, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you to our sponsors. I'll put links to them down below in the description, and we'll see you in the next video.